Hey guys, welcome back. So it's a new week. There's a new Morphe palette. There's probably like 15 new Morphe palettes this week to tell you the truth. But I picked up one of them. So they've released two of these 9-pan palettes, which are an Ulta and a Cult Beauty exclusive. They came out with the 9G, which is called Oh My Gorg. And then they came out with the 9I, which is called So Iconic. But the 9G palette is the one that caught my attention. It's got like some warm tone reds and browns. It's got some plummy colors. It's got some gold. All of the colors that I already own and that I already put on my face on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, I had to pick up another one. The So Iconic palette, I didn't pick up. It's definitely like grays and blues. It's a cooler tone. So where this is a warm tone, that was a cooler tone palette. I didn't pick that one up. But when I really started looking at both of the palettes after I had only bought this one, I really think that both of these palettes would work really well together because it seemed like the other palette really had like the darker shades that you would want to build some depth and some intensity into looks that you would create with this palette. But I really kind of want to keep this quick and simple. I just want to kind of get some of this on my face and play around with it and see what kind of look I'll create with it. So let's just kind of jump right in. I'm going to start with my lid shade. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to dip right into the shade On Cam, which is kind of like this bronzy, it's kind of like an old gold kind of color, kind of somewhere in that realm. And I am just going to swipe that or kind of press it onto the lid. And this shade has a really creamy texture to it, so I figured I would just go ahead and plop that onto my lid with my finger and skip the NYX glitter primer today because I just wanted to see how this goes on by itself without the aid of a sticky base. And honestly, I don't even know which other colors from this palette I'm gonna pair with this because I'm just kind of putting some shit on my eyes, so. And taking that same shade on an M433, and I'm just kind of bringing that up into the crease area a little bit. Now, I'm normally not the kind of person that would take a shimmery tone and blend that up into the crease or the transition area, but I thought I'd live a little today. We'll just kind of do something different. And I think that the more that you blend out a shimmery tone like this, the less shimmery it ends up becoming anyway. So fuck it, do what you want. And then taking that same shade on a pencil brush, I'm just going to kind of press that right into the lower lash line. I really want to start by pressing it in. That way we get as little fallout as possible. Even though I set down a lot of powder first, if I don't have to clean up a lot of fallout, I'd be even happier about it. So go ahead and press that in. And I think that it finally decided to be summer today, and it is so freaking hot right now. I haven't been this sweaty in a long time. I really want to turn the air conditioning on right now, but I think that's going to add so much noise to this video that I'm just kind of waiting until it's over, but I'm so hot. And then just using that same M433 to kind of soften up the lower lash line. Same brush I used to blend out that crease. And just kind of smoke that out a tiny bit. And then going into the shade Hot Glam, this is like a nice bright gold. I don't know how this is gonna apply with a brush, we shall see. This is a, what is this? This is a Luxie 245 small shader brush. I think this came in a BoxyCharm, and I'm just gonna kind of press that into the inner corner and then like the inner half of the lid, I think, because I want to add some warmth to this look. And I think that that first shade on its own kind of looks maybe a little muddy. I don't know if muddy is the right word, but it's the word that I'm going to use today. That's actually applying really well with the brush. I'm surprised because normally these kind of shimmers don't really have much intensity at all when you're packing them on with a brush. They usually go on so much better with a finger. And again, on top of a glitter primer, on top of a really sticky base. But this is applying really well, not only with a brush, but on top of another shadow, it's doing pretty good. So I almost just stabbed myself in the eye. It's crazy how unnatural it feels that I have all of this eyeshadow on already and I haven't even laid down like a matte shade at all. I've just gone in with shimmers and kind of painted that all around my eyes, and that's just not at all how I do things. But You can't do the same thing every day. So we've got some olive, we've got some gold. Why don't we go ahead and take this matte kind of orangey red shade. This one is called Pose. And I'm gonna take that on a MAC 221. So kind of keeping that right in the crease, definitely more on the outer half. And then sweeping it along the outer corner on the underneath side. And Bitsy decided she wanted to help today too, so she can come in and help. It's funny because my overall makeup application today, if I was watching somebody else do this, I would be cringing so hard, but I actually don't hate the way that it's coming out, so. Now the color story of this palette I think is very similar to the Safari Rain palette by Colored Rain, which actually is my first Colored Rain purchase ever. I finally caved and I bought it last night, and that should be coming in the next few days. I've been looking at that Safari Rain palette for so long now, and I keep telling myself that I don't need it, I don't need it. Do you need it? No. But I finally did it. They lowered the price on it, and then I used, somebody had a discount code, so with shipping, I got it for like $32. And so here we are, I finally did it. That's coming. There will definitely be some looks up with that, both on my Instagram and here on my YouTube channel, because that's a palette that I definitely want to do a tutorial with. Now there are a few deeper shades in this palette. There are a few like plummy purple shades, and there is like a darker green, but they're all shimmery, and I don't want to put a shimmer right in the crease. So I'm gonna go into the Boss Mood palette. I'm gonna dip into the shade Power Slayer, which is like a dark matte purple tone. So I'm just gonna press that into the crease and just underneath the lash line on the outer corner. And I just want to add a little bit more intensity than anything I'm going to get with this 9-pan palette, which again is where I think that I might have wanted to go ahead and purchase the other palette, because I think that they probably both would have worked really well together to create an entire look, where just this one palette alone isn't gonna do it unless you want your completed look to be a little bit on like the lighter to medium tone side. There isn't anything that's really gonna deepen it up or really darken it. So, and I haven't dipped into the Boss Mood palette in quite a while actually, so I was kind of excited to open this one up. I don't know why I don't use this one more often. Yeah, so look at this eye compared to this eye. This one just has a little bit more depth and a little bit more dimension to it, so. And then opening this palette back up makes me really want to use it again, so maybe I'll use this one tomorrow. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the way that the eyeshadow turned out, so I'm gonna go ahead and just sweep away the fallout, because there definitely was some. Again, I lay down quite a bit of powder, so fallout is never really a huge issue for me. But sometimes you'll lay down a shit ton of powder and the eyeshadow fallout will happen, and it will somehow like go through the powder and cling to your foundation anyway. I don't know how that happens. It happens a lot with Anastasia shadows, actually. I feel like that's one of the biggest offenders. And then on the waterline, I'm going to do Whiskey by Urban Decay, which I think I used in my last video, but I think that this one works with quite a few different eye looks. Again, especially if you're doing something warm, something with greens, with browns, with golds, since this is just like a nice, like, medium dark. It's not super dark, but since it's that nice medium dark warm tone brown, I just think that it works with so many different kinds of eye looks. And it was freshly sharpened, so I didn't have to sharpen another pencil. So then for highlighter, I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild loose highlighter. This is in the shade Moon Tears. This is from like their Goth collection. I don't remember what that one was called. And I think it'll just work really well with the eye look that we have going on today. So I've actually been really liking this little mini brush that I got from Sephora. This was like the VIB Rouge. What is this? This is the Pro Mini Flawless Airbrush, the 56.5. But I like this brush. I think is a really good multitasker. You can use this brush for all different kinds of things. But I've recently been using it to kind of stamp down the base of my highlight and then going over top of it with an M504 just to kind of pinpoint highlight where I really want the intensity. Okay, let me go ahead and get some mascara on really quick and we will call this look complete. And there it is, the final look using the 9G Oh My Gorge palette from Morphe. Again, this is available both at Ulta and at Cult Beauty. And again, for me, I really like the color story because it's very fall, even though we're not even into summer yet. But this is definitely the kind of color story that I enjoy and the kind of colors that I like to wear. So I really like it a lot. And then one more thing before I go, I have a question for you guys. I've been having uploading issues lately, so I haven't been able to upload in 4K. So my last video and this video, even though it's been filmed in 4K, it's actually not uploading that way. And my question to you guys is, do you see any kind of a quality difference for the better or for the worse? Or have you not really noticed at all? Because if you haven't noticed and it isn't an issue, then I'm gonna continue to just upload the way that I've been uploading these last couple of videos because things upload quicker and I can actually upload longer videos. I'm not stuck in that like 15-minute time constraint. So let me know down below, have you noticed any kind of a quality difference for the better, for the worst? Do you not give a shit? Either way, just let me know so that I know. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one.